my goodness. I can't believe we were talking for the longest.
Crystal David,
man.
you are the bomb for writing that no sound was coming through. And silly us, we're talking the entire time with no microphone. This just goes to show you don't have to be so technically,
Holy crap.
Holy crap. I think this is the first. If you're here for the first time, I apologize. If you're here every week when we do our hashtag free workshop Thursdays, this is the first time that this has ever happened.
That's hilarious.
You guys can put your finger at us and laugh if you want. We'll take it.
Go ahead. Just laugh at us now.
We'll just stand here.
Just laugh us.
Go ahead.
We are so sorry.
Sorry.
So we must have sounded like this, like.
So you know what? We're gonna kind of redo what we just said, so you guys can all be on the same page.
Absolutely.
This is the funniest thing that has ever happened. And again, Crystal, you just got brownie points, girl. You got brownie points.
Hey, Crystal, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah, that's exciting. Now, let's start off again, okay? Let's introduce ourselves the right way so we can have a good night, okay?
Absolutely. My name is Follow CQ.
And I'm Cassandra Lee, and together we are the Power Couple.
Welcome, right?
Tonight we are going over teamwork makes
the dream work, right?
Now, you were going to talk there.
No, I think you were.
Okay, so teamwork makes the dream work. Look, guys, this is such a powerful statement, and it is very, very true. And we were able to survey a few hundreds of people in network marketing, and we found two things. Number one, people are finding it difficult to get people to join. And the second thing is that they're finding it difficult to get people to stay. And so we realized, man, teamwork is supposed to make the dream work, but if you can't get your team to work, no dream is going to work. Does that make sense? Look, listen to it again. If you cannot get your team to work, that dream isn't going to work.
It ain't going to work.
So we need to really understand how teamwork operates, how to duplicate your team. If you're struggling with getting your team to duplicate, tonight you're going to hear some powerful information that's going to help you with that.
Yeah. We're going to talk to you guys about how to build a team that's highly, highly profitable, right? And here's what I mean, right? You see, you guys are all here, obviously, because you guys are looking to build your future, your security, right? And how do you do that in network marketing? Well, you do it through residual income, right?
Absolutely.
So we want to share with you how to build a profitable team. And you don't have to be a guru. You don't have to have this crazy organization to do so, right? We're just going to show you some methods and strategies on how we're going to be able to do that for you, right?
Absolutely.
So it's going to be really exciting.
I mean, you know what? Those of you who just started hearing our lovely voices, hopefully they're lovely. But you can just go ahead and thank Crystal. You know, let's just all thank Crystal. Crystal, you should pat yourself on the back.
Yo, Crystal, thank you.
Yes, thank you, you know?
Yo, we would have gone on.
I honestly think we would have taught the whole training just like that if no one said anything.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So,
but one of the problems with this, really quick, babe, I know you wanted to say something.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Really,
she always cuts me off.
No, I don't.
Just playing around.
Okay. One of the things that I wanted to say, you know, this is a huge problem, and here's why. Okay. When you first get people into your team, what happens? Your commission shoots up. But when people leave, what happens?
Your commission goes down.
And then you have to constantly rebuild your team, your organization, and then you start working for your business. Instead of getting your business to work for you, you start working for money instead of getting money to work for you. And isn't that why we all got in business in the first place? You know, this is a very weird concept, and we need to get it to change, because a team is only as strong as the weakest link. So whether you're in the team or whether you're team leading, you need to be sure that you understand the stuff that's going to be spoken tonight in order to start building an organization and a business that's going to last you a lifetime.
A lifetime, right? So, yeah. So here's the deal, right? I just kind of want to paint this picture real quick, right? I remember one time I was at your father's house, and we were playing this Xbox, right? And the Xbox has this camera that shoots out, and it can kind of read your body temperature, it can read your body movements, right? So like you're moving your right arm, and the right arm is moving. You're moving the left arm, and the left arm is moving, and you're moving your head, and the head is moving, right? Well, there's this game on the Xbox, right, where basically the objective of it is basically you're on a sinking ship, right? The ship is sinking, right? And you're like inside this room, and all of a sudden in this room there's a glass transparent window, right? And all of a sudden, a hole pops up, right? And then with the Xbox, you have to kind of put your finger to try to tap that hole, right? And then that hole stops from the water coming in.
If you've ever played this game, you could say, yeah, I played it, right?
And then like another hole pops up, and then water's coming out, and then you got to put another finger, right? And then all of a sudden, all of these holes are popping up to the point where you kind of have one finger on one hole, the other finger on the other hole, and then you have like your foot on the other hole, right? And all of a sudden, you're like getting this awesome workout, right? And like the whole boat is sinking, right? Now what happens when there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 holes, right? And you see a lot of times in business, right, because you guys maybe are not aware of this, maybe you guys don't know some of these principles, maybe some of the stuff that we're going to share with you is brand new to you, right? Because sometimes we don't understand this, right? What happens is you're going to find yourself on a sinking boat. You're going to find yourself with all of these holes coming in, right, and all of this water coming in, and all of a sudden, yeah, when that first hole comes in, you can kind of hold it with your finger, right? But then what happens when all of these holes happen, right? What happens when all the water's coming in? What happens then? And the reason why I'm describing it to you this way is because that's exactly what happens, right? Because one thing we've learned is that building it is easy. Keeping your team together, is 100 times harder. 100 times harder. Now, why should you listen and why should you pay attention to some of the concepts we're going to be sharing with you? Because when you guys start learning some of the stuff that we have back here, you're going to realize that we're speaking not out of theory, we're speaking out of experience, right? We've been able to build a team of over 100 people from all over the world, strictly using the internet, right? And we've been able to constantly plug our team in, build a team culture, right? Build a community around Power Quantum, right? Been able to keep them, right? And at the same time, because we've been able to establish that, we've been able to produce a very profitable team, right? And our team is not massive, right? It's small, but yet it's so powerful because we're building a tribe.
Absolutely.
We're building a tribe, right?
Culture.
We're not just building a team, and that's what we're going to share with you guys today.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about, some of the things that might be going on. Yeah. Let's talk about some of the things that might be going on in your mind with this whole team thing, okay? When you're not building a strong team, here's what happens, okay? And it's a scary thing, guys. It's a scary thing because recruiting is awesome, okay? Recruiting is awesome. Is it going to get you to rank up? Absolutely. But keeping the people there is what's more important. And sometimes we get started in business, and just think about the first time you said yes to network marketing. And the person's like, who knows 3 people? And you raise your hands like, everyone in here knows 3 people. That's all you need. You just get 3 people, and then they get 3 people, and then they get 3 people, and so on and so on. And you're like, holy crap, this is going to be easy. I know 3 people who would totally say yes to this. And you start thinking, you don't even think if they're going to be like you or not, right? That's not the first thing that comes up in our mind. We immediately just say, yes, we know 3 people, and 3 people are definitely going to do it. But we don't think, are those 3 people like me? Are they going to actually do something with this? And so you get so excited, so amped up about building a business. You go out in the trenches, you start, recruiting, you start talking, you start speaking, you start, really being an evangelist for this company. And then you get people finally who say yes. And once they're in, you realize that they're not doing anything. And you get excited that they said yes. You're like, finally you rank up, right? Or you get your first commission, whatever it is. You're excited. But then little by little, they start dwindling down, and they end up leaving. And you're like, damn. I was really looking to hit that rank, and now I can't. I gotta start over again. And you ask yourself questions like this, and I wonder why people just keep quitting. I wonder why no one is doing a thing. And what begins to happen is a lot of discouragement starts to settle in. And you start wondering, is this even for me? Am I doing the right thing? And you get frustrated because you're constantly having to rebuild your organization. Please, let me know if I'm preaching to the choir here. Does anyone know what I'm talking about, or is this the wrong crowd? Because if you can feel what I'm saying and you understand that what I'm saying that you've actually experienced, please let me know, because I really don't want to just keep talking and you're like, actually no, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't deal with that at all. then this isn't for you. If you can relate to what I'm saying and it's frustrating the crap out of you, then pay close attention. Because tonight what we're going to talk about is how to kind of, not prevent, you can't prevent that, okay? But what you can do is you can prolong it. And you can also sustain it. I'm not saying that this training is going to allow you to get everyone in the world to stay on your team. No, it's going to get you the majority of the people that you need to stay on your team and to grow with you so that you can have an organization that's going to last. You can go to sleep, you can lay your head down and know that your business will still be there tomorrow. You can lay your head down and know that it's going to continue to grow tomorrow. You don't have to constantly think of, man, I got to go find someone else. I got to go find someone else. This person's about to leave. My check is about to go down. I got to go find someone else. You don't have to think about those things because now you're going to know the reasons and the tactics on how to develop a team culture that's going to last you a lifetime. All right? I'm just curious to know real quick, baby. Hold on. I want to just see this real quick. You know, how are we doing here? Amen. Cool. Awesome, Crystal. I'm glad that you can relate, you know? It can't be just me and Crystal here. You know, some of you guys have to feel the same way, right? So here's some of the things that you're going to learn, okay? The first thing you're going to learn is how to get your team, how to get the person that joins immediately plugged into the team. The second thing that you're going to learn is how to protect your residual income, which is protecting the team because they're your residual. The third thing you're going to learn is how to have time freedom through the process, okay? The fourth thing, because here's I want to talk about that before I move on. A lot of people think that building a team is helping them grow it. To an extent it is. But doing the work for them, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Building the team is not you going out and doing the work for them. No, 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 no. So we're going to tell you how to help build your team without having to lose your time freedom. So that you can still do what you need to do. In fact, do more. Do more, whatever it is that you want, because that's why you got in business in the first place. So we're going to talk about that too. And we're also going to talk about how to develop leaders in your team. Leadership, camaraderie, excitement, you know, things that people are looking forward to, okay? You know, Joel here, Joel's just, I'm guessing he just got on.
Okay, anyways, what she was saying, right?
Sorry about that, guys.
Just playing around.
Yeah. I just wanted to write that because some people who are just getting on, they're seeing what we were doing in the beginning, which was talking like this. So they're like, I can't hear anything, right?
Yeah.
But you guys, so I'm guessing you guys can relate, you know? And you're probably saying, please, just teach us already. Tell me what it is, because I'm dying to hear what you have to say.
And for those who have not yet built a team that's really, really big, right? If you haven't built a team yet, you're in the beginning stages. You want to make sure you're paying close attention, because some of the stuff that we're going to talk about are certain things that are going to stop you, going to prevent you from falling into traps that are going to be time-consuming, frustrating, right? And it's going to keep you stuck there and bound if you don't understand this, right? So I want you guys to pay close attention to what's going to happen in the next couple of minutes, right? Because I think it's going to be very life-changing.
Absolutely, guys. So if you're pumped up, you're excited, that was me just kind of, you know, making sure we have the right crowd here. I'm not talking to the wall. We're talking to the right people, and so far it seems so. So if you're excited to actually dig in, get into the training, take some notes, go ahead and put it in the comments and say, heck yeah, or oh yeah, whatever you want.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever floats your boat. Go ahead and put it in the comments. I want to know if it is exciting, right? If it's excited, if you're excited to actually hear what we're going to talk about, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's do it, okay? So this is the stuff that we're going to talk about now, okay? We're going to take out your notebooks. We're going to get into some of the stuff here. This is kind of an outline. We're going to go in and erase some of the things. But let's get into it, okay? So as you can see, we have a board here, and the first thing that we're going to talk about is the problem here, okay? How come? Let me ask you. Let's see if you even know. Jenny, it's great to see you, by the way. Let me ask you, right? How many of you even know the reason why your team doesn't duplicate? Okay? How many of you know the reason why? And those of you who do not have a team yet, who knows the reason why most teams don't duplicate? Okay? If you know the reason, then go ahead and put in the comments. We're going to talk about some of those reasons right now, okay? And this is probably the biggest one. You want to talk about that, baby?
Yeah, friendship, right? Friendship, all right? There needs to be, you see what happens is that sometimes when we get into business, right, we think that the best way we're going to help our associate, our distributor, our representative, right, is through friendship. Let me be his friend. Let me be there. Let me be available. Let me always be there, right? What happens with this little dirty technique here, right, is that the moment that you become friends with your team members, right, what happens is that this boundary of respect, this boundary of authority, this boundary of understanding and speaking to them in a way they're going to make sure they do it, all of a sudden disappears, right?
Yes.
Let me give you an example, right? Here's what happened. I'll be honest with you, okay? What happens normally when people get in, right?
I'm going to move over to this way.
I'll move over. This way, you mean?
No.
Okay, I'll stay over here. Cool, right? So what happens is that the moment that you become friends, the moment you become friends with the people who are coming into your team, right? All of a sudden, they're not going to be listening to you from a perspective of leadership. They're not going to listen to you from a position of they should be listening to you, right? Why don't you give an example of that?
Absolutely. Okay, I want you to think about this. Now, we're not saying you can't be friendly. You can be friendly. You want to be friendly. You want to show that you care. You're charismatic, right? You want to have friendly characteristics or qualities about you to the person, but you don't want to be friends. Here's why. The moment you become, friends, right, or there's no boundary, then what happens is when it comes down to telling them the honest truth, right, it's harder. It's harder. It's harder to say, dude, you're messing up. Dude, you want this to work? Follow my lead. Do what I'm doing. Hey, look, I'm serious. You will never change your life if you continue the way that you're going, right? It becomes harder to say things like that. Now, I know that when you first get started in network marketing, one of the people they tell you to start recruiting are your friends and family.
How many of them actually get in, by the way?
How many of them actually get in, and how many of them actually stay in, right?
How many of them actually listen and take you serious when you tell them that you're going to become a millionaire, or when you tell them that you're going to make six-figure income?
Absolutely.
How many of them take serious? I'm waiting. I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
I'll be waiting. And you know what? I think I'm going to be waiting probably forever until I die.
No.
Right? Because what happens is that not everybody's going to listen. I mean, the best example is Jesus, right? Jesus could perform miracles, right? And all of these things, right? Everywhere. He would heal the sick, right? He will heal the blind. He'd make so many miracles, right? But when what happened when he just couldn't heal in his own birthplace. He couldn't heal in his own town, right? And that's something called the Jesus effect, right?
It's called the Jesus effect. Now, I'm not saying, some of you may have a really good relationship with with some of your friends that you can actually be brutally honest with each other, and that's awesome. If you have that respect and that boundary where you can say, yo, let's build this business together, and hey, if you mess up, I'm going to tell you. If I mess up, you tell me. Then that's awesome. Okay, then that's awesome. But what I'm saying is that you lose a lot of respect the moment you put this into the factor. Okay, that's all we're saying. You just lose a lot of the respect the moment you begin. He's like trying to, knock down the whole board here. You lose a lot of respect the moment you try to become friends with the person. Buddy, hey, what's up? You're constantly calling them, constantly talking to them, which leads us to the next thing.
You're too accessible, right? Now, I'm sorry. I'm being just straight up clumsy. I keep trying to hit this thing, all right? So let me just fix it here, right? But you become too accessible. Now, let me just explain this for a second, because some of you guys are probably saying, what do you mean? I should be accessible 24 hours, 7 days a week for my team members, okay? Now, the first reason why you shouldn't be accessible all the time, what happens when you grow a big-ass team, right?
Yeah.
What happens when you grow a big-ass team the way you're here? You're here because you want to learn how to build a huge team, a big organization. If you develop in your team culture that you're accessible about, 24/7, 24 hours, 7 days a week, guess what's going to happen? Your time is going to be getting consumed. The next reason you don't want to be so accessible is because if you are willing, right, if you don't appreciate your time, no one else is going to appreciate your time.
Yes.
And then no one's going to take you serious. People are just going to waste your time, and at the same time, no one's going to appreciate your time, right? What happens when all of a sudden, right, you have a big team and they want to reach out to you and they want to talk to you? Well, how do you get them? Who do you know who to talk to?
Who do you spend your time with?
Right? How do you make sure you have borders and lines that protect you, protect your time, and at the same time gets the team motivated, right? Because now they want to access you. Now they want to talk to you, right? So how do you do all that stuff?
Well, before we even get to how we do that, because we're going to talk about that in a few, what I want to let you know is why that's a big problem. Okay, why is that a big problem? Because here's what happens. He mentioned a lot of time here, right? You didn't get in business to be chained to your business, right? Would you rather make 6- and 7-figure income being on the beaches of the world or stuck to your phone? Well, by you being too accessible, that's what's going to happen. Now, again, don't twist what we're saying. You want to be accessible to people, but you want to be excessively inaccessible. Does that make sense? It's like an oxymoron, okay? There's only moments where you're accessible, but if the person has to call you every 5 seconds, every 5 minutes, I don't know how to do this. How do I say this? Hey, I'm going to meet with this person. Can you do it? Hey, if I call this person, can you get on the call for me? Blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. Look, they begin to expect you to do everything. Which leads us to the next thing. But before we get into it, I want you to imagine the day you don't pick up. Because you've already started being accessible. The day you don't pick up, what happens? Immediately, you didn't even pick up.
Huh?
I lost the sale because he didn't pick up.
Huh?
I needed him to be on the phone with this prospect, and it would have been a sale, but he didn't pick up. So I lost the sale. This person doesn't care for me. I'm out. It's not working. He's never there. And now every prospect that I bring, they leave. And they walk out.
What just happened there? What just happened there, right? All of a sudden now, what that person just did is that they took the responsibility of building their business, and now they put the blame to you, the sponsor, right? Now this is a double-edged sword, because now they're taking the responsibility of building their business, and now they're blaming you for not being accessible, like you said that you're going to be accessible 24 hours, 7 days a week, right? What happens then? People quit.
Yes.
What happens then? People are not willing to take responsibility for building their team. What happens then? They're not willing, and they're not going to become producer. Guys, let me tell you something. You're listening. You're getting this information from people who've been able to sponsor over 120 people in just about 120 days, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? We've been able to sponsor over 120 people in just 120 days. We are what somebody would consider top producers in somebody's organization. Just imagine that you had me and my wife in your team, right? Guess what? Nobody ever reached out to us, and we made it. Nobody decided to just hold our hands all the time. Okay, so you need to do this, you need to do that.
No one.
But guess what happened? It developed the ability for us to have responsibility for our business. You see, the moment you get your team members to realize that you're not there to build their business for them, right? You are simply there to guide them, to coach them, right? But it's their responsibility. It's their responsibility to build their team. Now you're instilling into the team culture, team productivity.
Yes.
Create team productivity.
That everyone will then have a role. Look, it's so freaking funny because people get into business because they hate having a boss. But then they get in and they expect you to be their boss. Tell me what to do. It is the stupidest thing I've ever, and if you are that person constantly asking your upline, I'm telling you, you're hurting yourself. And if that upline is actually doing it for you, they are hurting you. You need to break the cycle, break the vicious cycle, help yourself, and help your team to see that they need to help themselves. Okay?
Absolutely.
Because if you get into business to not have a boss, then why are you acting like a boss to your team? Why are they thinking that you are suddenly their boss? Tell me what to do. I joined here. Tell me what to do. What do I say? You left your job from having a boss, and now you expect me to be your boss? Please tell me how this makes sense. It doesn't, guys. It doesn't. You see, being too accessible not only loses your time, but you enable your team. Listen to the saying, right? Don't just give people fish. Teach people how to fish. Teach them how to fish.
Now, why is that, right? Here's the reason why. Because look, guys.
I'm gonna get water.
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead, water, right? You see that concept that my wife just illustrated. Don't just give people fish, right? Teach them how to fish. Just think about that for a second, okay? When you give people fish, right, what are they going to do tomorrow? Yeah, they're probably going to come back to you knocking on your door asking for fish, right? And imagine if they're doing that every single day for 365 days for the rest of your life. You're not serving what your purpose as a leader is supposed to be, right? If you want to really build teams, you want to teach your team how to fish, right? You want to help them develop a skill set of their own, This is how you help your team become producers in your organization. It's not by holding their hands. It's not by doing the work. This is what you call enabling. This is what you call hand-holding.
You want to stand on this side?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I won't hit it anymore. I promise.
I just see him talking, and then the whole thing just crashing, right? Now, if you're getting any aha moments and you're going, damn, it's starting to make sense. Maybe you're just getting, wow, this is good, but it's not clicking yet. But if you're feeling something, let us know, guys, because then we could just end it here. If no one's getting anything out of this, we'll just hang up here. But if you're getting something out of this, let us know so we can continue on, guys. You see, these are the don'ts. These are the no-nos, okay? We're going to go into the yes, so what you should be doing in a few minutes, okay? So by enabling them, it then leads into this. Hand-holding, okay? These are this is like the same thing here. You're too accessible, therefore you begin to hold people's hands along the way, which is what? Being their boss. And that makes no sense to me, okay? So if someone's like, but I don't understand. Who do I talk to? What do I say? How do I close them? What do I, all this stuff that it's like, dude, it's simple. You want this rank in your business? You need this amount of people. Go get them. It's that simple. If someone doesn't have the self-motivation to figure out how to do it on their own, you probably don't want them on your team anyway. Exactly. They're not going to last.
Yeah.
Now, it is okay to coach them, to train them, to teach them. It's okay to do that, and we're going to show you how to have a balance. See, people just go too much on one side, and they don't do enough of what we're going to show you today. There needs to be a balance, okay? And by you holding their hand and being too accessible to them, you are crippling your team. You're crippling your team, okay?
Yeah.
So that's a no-no. That's a no-no, okay?
No.
Let's talk about this one.
Lack of pre-qualification, right?
This is the big one.
This is a pretty big one, right? Meaning that the people you're bringing into your team are not pre-qualified, meaning that you're basically slamming them into your business knowing that they don't have the right mindset. They probably don't have enough money to keep up with the auto subscriptions, right? They just think it's a scam. They think that you're going to build it for them. The moment that you don't build it for them, they call it a scam, right? Look, guys, all of these red flags, right, that you know when someone's like, you're bringing somebody in the team just because you want the bonuses, right? You know that you're bringing that person in, but you really know that that person's going to do nothing. They've told you over and over and over that they think it's a scam. They've told you, hey, this is not going to work, right? They just don't believe in your vision, right? And you're bringing these people into your team, right? And guess what? They're just going to quit. Guess what? They're not going to serve you any good. Guess what? You're going to waste a lot of time with people who are not pre-qualified.
Absolutely. See, this is the foundation of your business. You will prevent a lot of these things if you start this right. Okay, so I want you to imagine a house. You first have the foundation. If the foundation is not correctly planted, then when it comes time to building the infrastructure of the house, right, it will collapse. It will collapse.
Yeah.
But if you do this correctly, you have a good foundation. When it's time to build the infrastructure, they have something solid to stand on. But now if you, as a team leader, end up messing up one of these factors, then what happens? Now you're building the infrastructure crooked. So when it's time to actually plant the house, you have something that's a little off. Now, whether it be the foundation or the pillars, your house will collapse. Imagine that your business. If you implement exactly we're teaching you tonight, you will begin to have a solid foundation, right? A solid foundation of people in your business, and that will give you a strong house.
Absolutely.
How does people like Eric Worre have such a freaking strong organization, or Colton what's his name, baby?
Colton Bugs.
Colton Bugs, right? All of these people, right? How do they have such strong organizations? It's because they understand these kinds of things. You can't get into business and just expect that it's going to grow by bringing people in.
It's not. It's not a sign-up game.
It's not a sign-up game. You got to treat your business like a business, and you got to start learning how to lead. You got to start learning how to lead.
Yeah.
So let's get into the solution.
Let's get into the solution now, guys. Want me to erase this?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let me erase this stuff, and you can tell stories.
All right, cool. Jenny, I appreciate the feedback. I feel like it's only you who's talking here. Is anyone else getting some awesome, goodies from this? She's like, she's left the excuses behind. She's so pumped. She's enjoying the way that we're putting it into perspective. Well, now that you guys know the exaggerated don'ts, what we're going to teach you now is the balance, okay? There's a timeline of a prospect, okay? We're talking about teamwork makes the dream work. So you need to learn how to get your team to work so your dream can work. And so what we're going to do is we're going to show you the timeline of building a team culture. From the moment that somebody joins your team to developing the team culture. That's what we're going to show you right now. And then we're going to talk about one specific area of that timeline. Look, we will be here for hours if we decided to talk about every component about building a strong team culture, which is why we decided that we're going to be doing this in a 3-part training series. And you guys are getting the kickoff. You guys are getting, the foundation of this. So I want you to pay close attention here. Okay? Can we use that? Okay, he's going to be he's going to be starting to create the timeline, and then we're going to go into it. We're going to give you what each part of the timeline actually means, but then we're going to talk about the main one tonight, okay? So building a strong foundation that people can rely on and teaching them how to keep that foundation strong and tall is the key. Yes, Jenny, that is the key. And so tonight you guys are really going to get the aha moment. So if everything was kind of like saying, this is interesting, okay, I kind of get it, but I'm not really sure how to implement this. I'm not really sure what kind of leader I need to be. Watch. Tonight, right when we get into this part, you're going to go, I got it. It's going to click right now, okay? And Rita, we appreciate the love. You're golden. You are golden, girl. All right, cool. Golden girl, right? Okay, anyway. So let's get into this. Okay, so what's this, baby? This is the person joining. Okay, so you have the person joins. At that point, what should they do?
They need to reach out. You see, sometimes a lot of people don't reach out when people join, right? And you need to reach out. You need to do specific things that we're going to talk about right now. But it's as simple as reaching out to the person, right? Making sure that they're on board, making sure that they're ready to go, right? And we're going to talk about that, okay? So when it comes to the point of contact, right, and you contact them, right, you want to do a couple of things. You want to sit down, take the time to know who they are, right? Schedule a time to speak with them, right, which we're not going to talk about today, right? But at this moment, there's a couple of things that you want to get from this person, okay? The first thing that you want to get to is you want to get to their core desire, okay? You want to get to their core desire, okay? And you want to make sure that they are aligned, right? What they want is aligned with your vision, okay? Their vision. So you want to get their core desire, and you want to make sure that you're stating your vision. You're speaking your vision into existence. You're leading with your vision. The reason why people will join you is because of your vision, right? The reason why people will stick with you is a whole nother process, right?
Absolutely.
But that is what the first thing you would need to do. Get to the core desire by scheduling a strategy session and coaching call, and then get preach
your vision.
Preach your vision, exactly.
So here's why this is important, okay? I'm curious. I mean, we've been in network marketing before, and no one did this for us. No one ever did this for us. We would get in, and immediately they would just give you like this booklet, right? Like this package that you get for paying your first subscription, and there's like this pamphlet that you get where you have to write a list of everyone that you know, and then it also asks your why, right? And they say, what's your why? And then they tell you, hey, go write your why, okay? And then And then they go, okay, let's start scheduling, you know, those home events or house parties, whatever it is that you guys call it in each, you know, business or whatever. Then you go do that. And then it's like, all right, now every time you get someone, call me, and I'll three-way me in, and I'll close them for you, right? But no one ever did this. You want to build a strong foundation of high team culture so you can develop teamwork in your team. You really, what are you doing?
Or you talking?
You really need to make sure that when they join, this first point of contact is immediate. Immediate. For us, we do it within 72 hours. If that doesn't get done within 72 hours, that person is already most likely out the door.
They're not worth your time. No.
And they're not worth your time if they don't get in within 72 hours. If you cannot get on a face-to-face, one-on-one type training, it's not worth it after 72 hours, okay? Really important that you get that. Why? We've tested it. We've tested it with people. They're the kinds of people that just, you know, waste your time anyway. So you want to make sure that you do this within 72 hours. Now here, it's so important that you get that, because what happens is you'll compromise this. If you don't stick your ground on that, you will compromise it, and you will compromise it because you're looking so hard for the dang sale, for the dang rank up. You need to detach yourself from the outcome. I want to ask you something. If you're already at the rank in your business that you want it to be, if you're already making the kind of money that you're looking to make, would you be so desperate for everyone? No, you wouldn't. This needs to happen within 72 hours of the person becoming a member. And what do? You sit down with that person, okay? Whether it's physically, you know, we work through the internet like this, so we meet with people through the web.
Yeah.
Through the web.
Exactly.
And we will sit down with them and we will ask them, why are you here? Why are you here? Get to the core desire, not the surface desire. Well, I want to make money. That's the surface desire.
Get to the core desire. Get to the core desire.
Because once you know the core desire, you can use it in your team culture.
You use it as a lever.
Yeah. So every time a challenge comes up in front of this person, and this person starts thinking of quitting, what happens? Hey, buddy, remember why you got started? You're really willing to walk away from the reason why you got started?
And sometimes that's all people need. They need to be reminded, right? They need to be reminded, which kind of leads us into this, right? Before we move on with this, right? What you guys need to pay attention, if you're writing notes, you should write this down, okay? The lifespan of a network marketer is 2 to 5 months, okay? What does that mean, babe?
This is like so important that you guys know this. Months.
Yeah, I can't spell, as you can see.
Okay. This is extremely important, because if you can understand that every person that comes onto your team, they're most likely going to be with you for a minimum of 2 to 5 months. Okay? That's the average lifespan of someone in network marketing if they don't see results. So what does that mean for you? What does that mean for them?
What that means, guys, is that if you guys don't understand this, and if you don't stick around to the whole training, and we cover all of this, and then we share with you exactly how you can implement this right now by making the decision to do it, right? What's going to happen is that a lot of people are going to be quitting, right? Because you're not going to understand. This right here is so crucial, because this is exactly what happens to people. They quit in 2 to 5 months who don't see results. The stuff that we're basically outlining here for you is going to give you the solution. It's going to help you understand the process that you should be putting your team through for them to stick around, for them to get results, and for you to build a massive team. And in the process of doing that, building your residual income, protecting your residual income, and building a massive organization that's highly profitable.
That's right. So once you have that core desire, you're able to use that in your team culture, but now you speak about your vision, and because you speak about your vision, they know this guy. I don't understand how he knows.
She's gonna kill me.
He knows there's something there, and he continues to hit it. It's like you're supposed to learn from your mistakes, right? Okay, no. So vision.
I'm hitting it differently, every different angle.
Oh, different angles.
Yes.
That's it. That's what it is.
I'm learning each angle.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. So the vision, right? So once you speak about your vision to the people that you talk to, what happens now is that they understand why they want to be a part of it. So now you understand why they want business. They understand where this business is going to take them.
Absolutely.
When you have a vision and people understand your vision, what happens? They want to flock to it. They want to connect to it, and it's really, really important. Okay, so really important. Now, after you go through this part, what happens? The weekly pattern. Okay, this is so important. Okay, this is how you protect your residual income.
Pay attention, please. If there's anything you can do right now, pay attention to this part, because this is how you're going to protect your residual income, because this is how you're going to build off of your residual income, okay? They don't teach this, by the way.
They don't teach this.
You're getting this exclusively here in Power Quantum, right? Anyways, look, this is really cool stuff, right? One of the things that me and my wife, we used to manage a martial arts school 12 months ago, right? And one of the things that my sensei here, my beautiful wife, taught me, right? When she would sit down with me and I was learning how to run this school. I was learning the different skill sets and all that stuff, right? You know, she would say, look, every single time a student walks in through that door, that is your opportunity to re-enroll that person. That is your opportunity to really remind that person, refresh their memory, and give them that energy and that feeling of what they felt when they first got started.
Absolutely.
Now, why does she say that? Think about that for a second. Why is it important for you to have a weekly pattern where you can feed your team, where you can give life to your team? It's the same reason why churches have service every Sunday, right? Because, I mean, let's face it, right? I mean, we're not perfect, and sometimes we need to be reminded. We need to be reminded by the pastor, you know, why we're doing certain things. Our faith needs to be renewed, right? We can learn a lot from churches, by the way.
Absolutely. So that weekly pattern is to remind the person that joined why they joined. Okay? The weekly pattern is to recruit them. It's to reassure them that they're in the right place, that they're in the right team, that this is the business that's going to help them succeed. So what do you do in a weekly pattern? Well,
you sure as hell don't stand there and just look at them stupid,
and
right?
Guys, no, a weekly pattern is not the little home events where you get prospects to. No.
That's not a weekly pattern.
That's not a weekly pattern.
A weekly pattern is what, babe?
A weekly pattern can be a conference call. A weekly pattern can be a webinar. A weekly pattern can be a meeting, get together, right? Where you actually get together physically, right? Where if you do more offline, okay? That's what a weekly pattern is. And what you do there is you train, you answer questions, you talk, you motivate, you inspire, you re-preach your vision, you re-pull out their core desires.
Now that's, you know, I just want to say this for a second, right? The weekly patterns are a way, right, for you to basically get the training that people are asking for, right? That's the reason why you shouldn't spend one-on-one holding people's hand when you can actually get everybody together in a weekly pattern and teach all of them what you are going to be teaching that one person.
Yes.
What you just did there is that you just fell out of a trap.
Yes.
Now you're no longer falling into a trap, right? Have you ever just, you know, someone comes up to you and says, hey, dude, can you just show me how to do this? And then you tell them, and then like 5 minutes later, somebody calls you and says, hey, can you teach me how to do this? And it's the same exact damn thing. Doesn't that piss you off, right? And if you're not going through that, right, that just means that you just need to get in and learn this stuff, right? Because, right, you need to start producing in your team, right?
Yeah.
So instead of repeating yourself, instead of saying the same thing over and over and over,
here's the key, guys.
You just say exactly what you would tell that one person, and you get a group together, and you tell everybody in that group, and you train about that in that group, and you tell value, you give them life, and you give them energy, and in the process of doing it, they say, oh my goodness,
I love this decision.
I love this decision that I made, and I don't find it like, you know, I would feel guilty if I don't pay my auto ship, right? This is how you keep people inside your team, by giving value to them, right?
If people don't show up to this weekly pattern, it's a hint to you that they're already on their way out. So it helps you read your people, because if someone can't pay their auto subscription, they're going to feel embarrassed showing up to these weekly patterns because it's so much value.
Yeah, yeah.
Look what he just said. If somebody were to call you and say, hey, I don't know how to close people. Like, I get someone in front of me. Do I talk about the facts of the product? What do I say? You know what, Johnny? That's a great question. In fact, you know how we get together every Thursday? That's exactly what we're going to be talking about. So make sure you're there with a pen and paper. Cool. It's that simple. It is that simple. So the weekly pattern is you getting people there and you are protecting your residual income, okay? But we're not going to talk about that too much. That's a whole other training. And then you have events, guys. Events keep people what? Hyped.
Events is where your life changes, right? Events is where people go from not really committed to being super committed. They go from not really believing to really believing, all right? And what happens when you can get your whole team, your whole organization to start believing in the same message, to start believing in the same vision, to start believing that what they're actually working for, the efforts that they're putting in, day out, can actually become a reality in their life. Their dreams are possible. What happens when all of a sudden you have an organization that's operating in faith? What happens is this. You have an explosion. All of a sudden, everyone that you get them to an event, right? I mean, events change lives, right?
Events change lives.
What happens every time we go to events?
Our income increases.
Our team gets bigger.
Right, and our life just changes.
Exactly, right?
Listen, guys, you want to do these every 3 months. Here's why. Notice how everything is done intentionally. If I were you, I'd start regrouping your whole team right now and start creating what we're talking about so you can begin changing the culture of your team. They join, you immediately find out why they joined, you immediately share your vision, you find out their goals, and you say, hey, buddy, every week we're going to be meeting here, and we're going to talk about how we're going to help you make those goals. Every week, you're teaching, you're training, you're inspiring, you're leading with your vision, you're protecting your residual income, and then you say, guys, the next event is in 3 months from now. Every 3 months, you should be having an event. In 3 months from now, let's try to get to this level within 3 months. You use this as a checkpoint in their goals. If somebody wants to reach this grandiose vision, you use these events as checkpoints to that goal. Hey, the first 3 months, let's get you here. You ready? Let's kick ass. And you're just constantly hitting those weekly patterns. You're constantly getting the core desire. You're constantly talking about your vision. They're getting results because the weekly patterns are teaching them what they should be doing out in the field. The weekly patterns are teaching them what they should be doing out in the field. So when they go out in the field, they start bringing in results. And then on the weekly patterns, you say, yo, this guy, tell everybody what you just created this week. And he's like, yo, I got like 5 sales this week. I got 3 people committed, blah, blah. And you get this person excited. This person's going to hit his goal by the next event. And it's a checkpoint. It's a checkpoint.
Did you hear that, guys? Pay attention to what she's saying, right? Like she said, everything we're sharing with you is very intentional. It serves one purpose, right? And it serves keeping your team together. Because I'm going to give you a golden nugget. If you're taking notes, right? Here's how you get your team to become leaders. Here's how you get them to start producing, right? You get them. Damn, I forgot. You know what it was? Just playing around. Right? You get them to stick around long enough, and they will have their breakthrough.
Absolutely.
You get them to stick long enough, and they will have their breakthrough. Well,
absolutely.
The problem that you're probably having is that you can't get them to stick around long enough, so they're not having their breakthrough. Therefore, you're not having any leaders. Therefore, your team is leaving you. Therefore, you have to restart and repatch. Therefore, you have to go back and sponsor 10 more people, and then you figure out that 10 more people just left the door, and then all of a sudden you find yourself frustrated, and you're crying out, you're praying to God, and you're saying, please send me a message, and you're on this training, right? So guys, it's very important.
Look, before we get into the last part of this timeline, okay, you really need to understand this one thing, guys. Everything here, right, not only is it intentional in creating a culture in your team, but it is crucial in creating a long-lasting business, guys.
Yes.
So pay close attention because, look, notice how in the beginning we were talking about how you really can't be that, if you're too accessible, you're killing your team. This is the balance. Be accessible 1 time a week.
Yes.
Be accessible 1 time a week.
Yes, be accessible once a week.
This is when you let everyone just let it all out. What's your question? Let's do it. And if it's not on the topic that you're teaching, you say, man, that's a great question. In fact, we're going to do that training next week, but I would prefer that you have all the questions that have to relate to the training we're doing right now. You keep what? Structure. You keep structure. You keep a team. It becomes a unit. Your team becomes a machine when you do things like this. So now we're going to take what we said earlier to a whole other level. The whole accessibility thing. Okay?
Okay.
Get into that. Baby.
Leadership. Now pay attention, right? This is going to be really good stuff, right?
This is the cherry on top of the whole thing.
Yeah. So how do you get your team to start producing, and when should you be accessible to your team, and when should you not be accessible to your team, okay? I want you guys to pay attention for a second, okay? Because I remember this, right? I remember when I used to play Pop Warner football, right? I was not very good at playing football, right? And here's what would happen, right? If I wanted to actually talk to the coach, if I wanted to talk to him, if I wanted to have some type of relationship, right, I would actually need to start doing something in practice. I would have to somehow get some results, get some tackles, right? Do something that gets them to say, okay, you know what, let me listen to what you got to say, kid, right? And guess what? That's exactly how you need to run your business, right? Let me tell you something, right? Because you need to understand this, right? You should only be accessible. You should make it hard for people to access you, right? Unless they're producing results, right? Because what happens is that all of a sudden now, people are, one, going to appreciate your time, people are, one, going to respect you, and people are now going to understand that in order for me to actually talk to this guy, I actually need to produce results. So what is that going to get people to do? It's going to get people to produce results so they can be recognized, right? Sometimes people want to be more recognized on your team than it is to actually make money, right? I want you guys to understand that. Recognition is so important. And so many of us sometimes are so hungry to be recognized, right? That we will go out there and we will produce the results, right? Just to be recognized by that person. When you do this and when you build a boundary, right? Boundaries around you that only people who are producing can get access to you. Here's the next thing that happens, right? What happens then, I shouldn't tell you because this should be in another training, but I'm going to tell you. What happens then, right? I want you to imagine for a second, I don't know, let's just pretend this, right? Let's pretend that your team is at the bottom and you're at the top, right? All of a sudden, right, here's the basic people, right, the basic team members, right? And then in order for them to reach you, okay, this is what you call your mastermind. Okay? Mm-hmm. Your mastermind. And the only people who are able to get into that mastermind are leaders who are actually producing results. So what happens? All of a sudden now, people are working towards something. People are working towards being recognized. People are working to be part of a mastermind. You see, we have a mastermind in our team, right?
Yeah, and we have a criteria for people to get in. You need
criteria.
You need to set up that criteria. You set up that criteria and you say, sorry guys, no, on this day, this is only for the people in our mastermind, and that's when we go over some real goodies, and that's where we do X, Y, and Z. So what happens is the people in the weekly pattern, they aspire to be in your leadership, which the leadership...
Aspire to be in your leadership.
So then the leadership has more what? Connection with you. Why? They deserved it. They deserved it. Those are the people, those are the producers. They spend more time with you. Those are the serious people. Therefore, they're the ones that are going to be catalysts in getting your business up to the next level. You should be more time with them. But as it gets bigger, you make it harder to get in. You make it harder to get in. Now what do? Are you ready? Because now this is really going to lock the whole thing in. Look, he did mess everything up. Look.
No, that's actually her.
So check this out. This is how you end the whole thing. You ready? You see this happy face there? The happy face means you developed the culture. Okay? The happy face means you developed culture.
Oh my goodness, we got more.
How did you develop the culture? Well, now that you actually have people in your leadership, they're seeing results, you're meeting with them on a closer level, you're spending more quality time with them. You take these leaders and you bring them to the weekly pattern. And you say, I want you to share what happened this week in front of everyone. I want you to tell everyone your story in front of everyone. I want you to do X, Y, and Z in front of everyone. Because then what happens is now these weekly pattern people, they look up and they say, dang, if that guy did it, I can do it too. And they start wanting to be like this person, and it makes people say, I gotta get into the leadership. So leaders start showing up and they start doing portions of your weekly pattern, which does what? Gives you what? More time freedom. It gets more people wanting to produce. Now, I'm not saying that this whole thing is going to get everyone, you know, totally connected and blowing up their business.
But here's what's going to happen.
What's going to happen is the majority of the people are going to stick around. Now, what we didn't tell you is this, okay? There are going to be people who are going to get, you know, burnt out or you know, they're just going to slack off a little bit. It just happens, okay? There's a way to get that person reignited. And the same thing happens even when they reach leadership. People will become stagnant. You sometimes will become stagnant. You want to stay away from the funk. It's called the funk. But there's a way to get people out of it. There's a way to reignite so you can continue to have your team like a solid unit, a solid culture. If you implement each of these components, you will begin to have team culture. But when you understand how to maintain the team culture, you will build a strong business. Now you're saying, well, how do I maintain team culture? Well, we can't tell you that tonight. Okay, why? Because we'll be here for another hour. What we're going to show you right now is how to get your hands on the information that will teach you not only how to do this on a deeper scale, but how to actually keep team culture, maintain team culture. How can they get their hands on that?
Guys, this is how you're going to get your hands on it, okay? And I want you guys to pay close attention, all right? If you got massive value from today, guys, if there's something that we said or you just thought that this training was just great, it did something for you, it got you to understand something, you got an aha moment, I want you to go ahead, type with your little fingers in the chat box, no, it's not going to hurt you, no, it's not painful, and just say yes, 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 okay? Because we're going to have you saying yes, right? If you think this is good, then you're going to love what we're going to show you next, okay? And what we're going to show you next is going to be it's actually going to be something, right, that not everybody can have access to it, right? We're only looking for a couple of people to get access to this, right? Because we're actually only looking to work with people who are serious about making this happen, people who are serious about building their business. So what am I talking about, right? You see, this is incomplete, all right? This is incomplete. And actually, the person who taught us this, all right, is a good friend, one of our good friends, okay? And he's been able to build an organization past hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, right? He's been able to create 13 millionaires, right? He's been able to create hundreds and hundreds of six-figure earners, okay? And this is the guy who's taught us, right? He's taught us this. Now, the cool thing about this, guys, is because he's taught us this, and you guys are on here, there's a connection. There's a connection, and we want to make sure we connect you with you, okay? We want to make sure you get the access, the same access that we had back a couple of months ago when we actually got this and our whole life changed, right? So I'm not sure if you want me to get right into it.
I want you to get right into it.
Okay.
You know, what's going to happen is here, guys, look, Ulani, you said yes, right? I hope I said your name right. But guys, this is what's going to happen now because like I said, this training goes more in depth. Everyone here tonight is going to get access to part 2 and part 3 of our training. Part 2, we're going to go over the weekly patterns and events to continue what? Giving people checkpoints, giving people challenges. If people don't feel challenged, they're no longer going to stay in, okay? Part 3, how to develop leaders, okay? Part 2 is going to be done this Saturday, okay? This Saturday at 3 p.m., right, baby?
Yeah.
3 p.m., okay? This Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be doing weekly patterns and events. You want to make sure you're there. Everyone's going to have access to that. Then we're going to do part 3, developing leaders. This is going to be done Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Okay, this is Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay, that's when we do part 3. Now, tonight you're going to have the opportunity to be a part of a live seminar, webinar rather, okay? I want you to imagine like Tony Robbins is inviting you to learn how he did this, or Eric Worre is saying, hey, I'm going to teach you how I developed a team. And you would have to pay about what, like $500 just for the ticket, right? And you would actually have to pay your airfare, your hotel, and then, you know, your food and everything out there. But what we're going to be doing is going to give you access to the webinar that's going to teach you most of these components on a deeper scale, and I'm not going to tell you the price yet because it's going to be really ridiculous. But once you get it, what's the bonuses that you're going to get? Well, number one, we're going to give you 2 extra trainings throughout this week, okay? One on Monday, this Monday, and one on Thursday. I mean, we always do free hashtag workshops, but this one is different because we're actually bringing special guests.
We're going to bring some leaders, some of the people that we know in the industry. We're going to connect you with them, right?
Absolutely.
These are people that are 7-figure earner guys. Okay, 7-figure earners.
And the next thing we're going to be giving you guys is we're going to basically take what we taught you tonight, the timeline of a team culture, and we're going to give you a PDF. We're going to give you a PDF if you decide to get this today, okay? So we'll give you a PDF, and why do you want this? Well, because we gave you a lot of information tonight, okay? We gave you a lot of information tonight, and because of that, it's going to be extremely hard to contain that. So you're going to get a PDF that you're going to be able to go back to, and you're going to say, damn, my team is lacking in this area. So then suddenly you're going to go, oh, but I remember I have to start doing weekly patterns, or I remember in a weekly pattern it contains this. And you're going to look at all of that, and you're going to be able to know exactly what you need to do, okay? So what's going to happen, okay? September 27th, we have the guy who taught us this. He's going to be doing a live in-depth training that Saturday on exactly how to do what we just taught you on a deeper level. The training he literally gave us, he's going to give to you not this Saturday, the following Saturday. How much is that, baby?
Guys, look, I mean, let me ask you something real quick, right? If this information can potentially allow you to build an organization in your team that just astronomically blows your mind, astronomically makes you a lot of money, right? If that can be done, right, how much would that be really worth for you, right? But then it has to go back into, you know, why are you in business for, right? Some of you guys are in business for more time. Some of you guys are in business because you guys want to have the ability to start doing some of the things that were restricted by money to not be able to do, right? And let me ask you something. If you can learn something, right, that can automatically increase your value, automatically in an instant, give you the understanding to start building your team the right way, start building your business finally the right way, how much would that be worth for you, okay? I mean, this stuff, okay, if we told you this stuff was $1 million, honestly, it'd be worth it, right?
Yeah.
So if it was $1 million, right, and it can help you build an organization, right, that's like hundreds of thousands of people generating you a 7-figure income per month, would you get it, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, absolutely. Now, it's not even $1 million. I mean, that'd be crazy as hell, right? I mean, some of you guys don't have $1 million. I mean, it's just crazy, right? And it's not $1 million, right? If this stuff was $100,000, right? Another ridiculous number, it would probably be worth it. It's not even $100,000, okay?
What is it?
If this thing was, goddamn it, if this thing was freaking $1,000, you should still get it, right? But it's not $1,000, right? If this stuff was $500, you should get it, but it's not even $500. If this thing was $100, you should get it, but it's not $100. Some of you guys don't know where I'm going with it. If this was $50, you'd probably get it, but it's not even $50. If this was $25, you're probably saying, holy crap, my credit card's levitating out of my pants and I'm ready to buy. But it's not $25. This right now, okay? At this moment, here's what happened. On your pop-in, something just popped up, okay? That is the ability and to have the opportunity not to basically attend this live webcast that's going to be happening next Saturday where our friend, special guest, we're going to introduce you to him, who's made 7 figures multiple times on the internet, has built teams and organizations of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, is the one who taught us this and allowed us to build a massive team. That's exactly what you're going to be learning.
So the 27th, you're getting a $17 webinar, okay, where you can be there for, it's like a 6-hour training, okay? On top of that, you're getting 2 extra bonuses, and you're going to get a PDF included into the actual webinar that you're paying for. You're paying for a webinar, and we're going to throw in these bonuses, okay? If you decide not to get it, that's fine. You guys all still get this. But if you do get it, you get all of this. So to me, you would be really ridiculous not to get it because you're going to be getting everything anyway. And this is extremely powerful. Well, why? Not only will you get it, but we're also going to throw in, we're actually going to connect with you right away, and we're actually going to call you and talk to you about your goals and talk to you about how we can help you achieve those goals the moment you decide to go ahead and get the $17 webcast.
How can they get it? How can they get it?
Hey guys, if you are on your phone, I want you to just pause this really quick, go back to the screen, and click on the Pop-ins tab, and you'll see a big button that says check it out, okay? And those of you who are on a computer, you probably already saw it pop up, and it's on the right-hand side, so it's like over here, and you'll see it right over here. And you want to look this way, and you want to click either on the Pop-ins tab, or the button is already there. So just go ahead and click on that, and the moment you do, it will take you to an order form. You want to fill out that order form, and what is that order form? It's paying $17 for a webinar that's going to be teaching on the team building formula on September 27th. So you want to make sure you get it right away. Hey guys, it's a 14-day money-back guarantee. That's only for wussies anyway, but if you're that ridiculous about holding $17, which is a mindset thing, and by you being that way is probably the reason why you aren't where you want to be. That's another training.
Look guys, there's only 2 things you can invest in, okay? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a timer, because we don't have forever. Can you make the timer 6 minutes?
Absolutely. All right, 6 minutes, guys.
We're going to put a timer, guys, and you have to make a decision in 6 minutes. It's either you're in or you're out. It's either you get the bonuses or you lose out on them forever, okay? And I want you guys to pay attention to something. I want you to listen to the sound of my voice. And I want you guys to pay attention because some of you guys, honest to God, need to just realize this. This is going to be a mindset shift, okay? If one of your members had $3,000 and he said, hey, I'm going to give you this money, get me into your business, how fast would you take that money? Some of you guys said, hell yeah, I'll take that money fast as hell, right? I would take that money without even thinking about it, right? And that's awesome, isn't it? That's great because we're all in business to make money. I get it. I totally get it. You guys are here to make money, aren't you, right? Well, let me tell you something. If you can make a decision that fast to get and take somebody's money, be able to take $3,000 from one of your members who's trying to get into your business, right? Then you should never hesitate on something that's actually going to put money into your pocket, because that's exactly what this training is going to do. It's going to help you build a team and a massive organization. It's going to educate you and give you understanding in the ability and the components that it takes to build a real organization, a sustainable organization, a business that thrives for years to come rather than a business that sinks in a couple of months to come, okay? You have to be willing to make the decision in the next 6 minutes, because if you don't, here's what's going to happen. You're not just losing out on the bonuses, right? You're not losing out on the 2 extra trainings. You're not just losing out on the PDF. But what you're really doing is that you're prolonging the success. You're prolonging exactly what you're really in business for. And some of you guys have been struggling. Some of you guys have your arms crossed. And some of you guys are saying, I'm getting in, right? And you see, we honestly don't care for the people who are not going to get in and not going to want to invest into education, because we never have to deal with those people, right? And neither should you. You should never try to deal with somebody who's not willing to invest into their education, because it just goes to show that they're just not willing to make that decision, all right? I'm talking specifically to that 1 or 2 people who are willing to change their lives, who are willing to pull out their credit cards, click on the pop-in button, and get started, okay? Because by you getting started, this is exactly what you're doing. You're choosing to win in life. And every single day, we're giving 2 choices. It's either you win in life or you lose in life. It's either that you get around the people that know something, or you keep hanging out with the people who are lost and don't know nothing, okay? This is coming from people we've been able to build a team over hundreds of people, right? Over hundreds of people from Canada, from New Zealand, from Africa, from all over the country. We've been able to build the team culture, right? We've been able to establish this, right? And guess what? It's your time now.
It's your time now. Let me stop. Boom. Okay, cool. Keep the time is still going. Doesn't mean I just wanted to make sure that we were up on the comments here. It says here, you can keep talking. Maybe.
Yeah. So guys, look, you have 3 minutes left, guys. Okay, and you want to go ahead and click on that pop-in button over here. Okay, and you want to make sure you capitalize on all of these bonuses, right? Here's what I'll do. Right, with 3 minutes left, I'm gonna do one more thing.
Yeah. I mean, before you do that, I just want to congratulate. I hope I'm saying his name right. Yulani, right? For being awesome, man. That was a great breakthrough that you just had, and I'm really appreciate you coming out here and saying that boldly in front of everyone. And I promise that the moment you make that shift in your mindset and begin implementing that in the way that you do business, your whole business will change. I commend you, brother. That's awesome.
Yeah. So you want to make sure you go ahead and click on that button, guys, because that button should be throbbing in front of your face, right? It's your time now. It's the time for you to make a decision, right? It's time for you to make a real decision and say, you know what? I'm just going to get in, right? Because this information can really change your life. This stuff is going to allow you and give you the ability to build a team past the masses. It's going to allow you, it's going to put information in front of your hands that a lot of people are desperately seeking to have and they don't have, right? And with less than 2 minutes left, baby, why don't you go ahead and just share with them exactly why you need to get this.
Guys, look, hey, if you're here, it's because you want change. You want something to shift in the way that you're doing business. Why? Well, because you got into business so you can live the lifestyle of your dreams. You can be free. Well, how is that possible if you don't even have the necessities or the tools or the understanding on how to get to where you want to go way faster? You can either take this the long way, or you can borrow our experience and get yourself plugged into the education and training that can help you get there faster. It's up to you. It's up to you. But if you're in business because you want your life to change, then make the decision to get in, because this will change your life. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because it changed ours. It changed our life. This past weekend we went to the city and we were hanging out in New York. We went to church out there. And then we went to go see a football game. And as we're chilling, watching the football game, we get a notification from our friend, one of our team members, right? And our team member, is telling us, man, I just got a sale, blah, blah, blah. Someone in our team who's taking action on the stuff that we've been teaching in our weekly patterns and goes out and gets a sale, all while we're enjoying what? The day in the city of New York. And we did not hold his hand. We did not say, hey, do this, hey, do that. He came to us and said, by the way, I'm using what you're teaching, and it worked. And what I want to tell you is this. When you build a team the right way, that's exactly what you'll get. You'll get way more time freedom and more people saying, I got another one, and I got another one, and I got another one. The timer is off. That's that sound that you're hearing. And I just want to congratulate Jenny. Jenny just went in, and she went in and she got the team. She got the webcast, Jenny, congratulations. I'm excited for you. I'm pumped up for you. You're already in our trial membership, and now you took it a whole nother step. Oh, I had that feeling. Ilani, I was like, this is probably a girl. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. And I'm so proud of you. Okay. I'm getting this in cool. Cool. Jenny, I am so proud of you for getting it, girl. That's exciting. That's awesome. And you don't have to worry about it, okay? You don't have to worry about the next window. Just focus on the live casts, okay? So I know that you just asked me that question. So I just want to make sure that we congratulate you, Jenny. And I know we were supposed to have a little meeting today, and your time didn't permit. But we want to give you a chance to get on the meeting with us today. So let's do it. I'm sorry, Ilani. You keep getting on me. I'm sorry. We got to come out to Hawaii and meet you, girl. That would be awesome. So let me just really quick send this to Jenny.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Go ahead, now he's dancing.
There's music in the background.
Cool, cool, cool. All right, guys, so what I want to do now is I want Jenny to come on out here. So, Jenny, I'm going to send you a quick link on Facebook, okay? Jenny is a brand new person who decided to get involved with our coaching program. And now she made the decision to go ahead and get this. So let's see who else is out there. Who else is out there? Who else is going to get the exact same thing? Who's going to be on this live webcast, and who's going to get the extra bonuses? Really quick, I want Jenny to come on out here. I want to talk to you for a second in front of everyone. So, you know, you guys are going to see Jenny just pop up out of nowhere, and I just want to let you guys know that we invited her. We invited her, okay? So I'm excited. I'm pumped up. There's a few people, there's a few emails that we got from you guys. I know you guys are no longer here, but we'll be responding to that later. Those of you who are watching the recording, you know, take the information and apply it. Everyone else, we're going to see you on the next training, part 2. If you did not decide to get everything today, that is totally fine. There's no pressure. The only pressure you should be feeling is how far apart do you want to be from your goal and your vision, okay? So I'm excited. Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm excited, you know. So Jenny, I want you to come on out here. I just left you a Facebook message, and we're just gonna have a quick talk before we end it out. And I want you guys to hear her reasons of why she decided to step out and say, I'm gonna get this live webcast. I'm gonna get these bonuses. I believe in my dream. I believe in my vision, and I'm gonna do it. And he's dancing.
That's right. That's right, Jenny. Congratulations once again, guys. And hey, man, thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up. And for those who didn't take action, it's totally cool. It just means that you're just comfortable where you are, right? I'll just be honest with you. You're comfortable. You're comfortable. You're comfortable. You're comfortable, right? Because until you're willing to become uncomfortable, you won't ever get the opportunity to really understand and really get in position to really receive the most that you can out of life, right? You see, sometimes I realize that sometimes what holds us back is not really that we don't understand something or a skill set. It's a decision that holds us back, right? And by you choosing not to decide to get in tonight, it's totally cool, right? We're not going to slam this down your throat if you don't want to get in. We're not going to slam this down your throat if you don't want to buy this, right? We're just honestly going to tell you, and we're going to look at you in the eyes and say, hey, listen, right? If you're serious about building a team, then you need to educate yourself, right? It's about investing into your education. This has nothing to do with us and everything to do with you, right? Because this is the stuff that a lot of people are desperately seeking, but just honest to God don't have, right? But it's totally cool because as your competition, is educating themselves, you're getting left behind. You see, sometimes in life, right, here's the person that will win when somebody wants to join, right? Let's say somebody wants to join you, but then they have the opportunity to join somebody else. What happens then, right? Well, what happens then is that that person is going to join whoever they perceive as being more valuable. And how do people start perceiving you as being more valuable? They start perceiving you by first making a decision to get in. Hey, what's going on, Jenny? Hey. I think you have yourself on mute, so we can't hear you.
Hey, Jenny! Finally, right? You have yourself on mute, so there's like a mic button that you hit at the top. Hey, don't worry about it. This is exactly what we did in the beginning of our webinar. We started the whole webinar on mute. How many people are still here? Not too many. If you guys stayed all the way this long, you guys should be already getting the webcast. I don't know what you're waiting for.
For God's sake.
All right. Who else just got it? Let's see. Who's this?
Yulani.
Oh, Yulani from Hawaii. I freaking love her name. I want to know what that means. That's a beautiful name.
Congratulations, Yulani, for getting it. We really appreciate you for making that decision.
Jenny, are you on your phone or on the computer? Do sign language for me.
I think she's on her computer.
If you're on your computer, move your mouse around. You'll see like a menu bar at the top of the screen, and there's a mic button. Click it, because you're on mute right now.
Yulani, why don't we get you on here, girl?
I'm gonna send you a message, Yulani, and I want you to click on the link. Let's have you on here too, real fast, before we end it out. It's late over here. It's like daytime in Hawaii, though. So let me get that link to her. Boom, boom, boom. Where we at?
You gonna send it to her email?
Yeah, Yulani, I'm gonna send it to your email. And the subject line is going to be link. So if you can get on here, I just want to meet you. I want to congratulate you. We both do. And we just want to be able to say, that, we're proud of you. We're proud of you. Cool. Let me hear you talk, Jenny. No, I still can't hear you. I don't know why. The volume's up. Let me hear you talk again. I don't know, maybe your mic is not connected. Maybe you have to take the headphones off. I'm not sure. Can't hear you. Let's see if you Ilani would be able to get on. But if not, Jenny, with your body language, can you tell me how excited you are right now? That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, we still can't hear you, so it's all good, though. It's all good. Okay. Oh, yay, we did it. We did it. We did it.
Actually, $7.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Okay.
All right, cool. So Jenny, girl, I'm excited for you. I know that you reached out to me earlier this week, and you're like, I'm ready to start growing my business. You're in the trial program, and we're supposed to have our meeting soon, but we couldn't get to it today. But then today you made a decision and said, I want to be on this live webcast, and I want you to tell me why you made that decision.
Well, when I joined network marketing, it made me see the world a little bit different. When you walk on the street, you see ads, and then you don't really think about that. But now, when you're in this industry, you realize that the companies, they place a lot of ads. So it's like when they say, don't place your eggs in one basket. Like the companies don't do that either. So that's why they have to reach out for other people to kind of help them out, keep their services going. So now I'm actually starting my own business.
Nice.
But it's an online store, but it's a little bit different now. It's like my own thing that I'm starting, and I'm kind of nervous right now.
It's all good. It's all good. We'll go more in depth when we meet with you on that and how we're going to help you. But really, you're here because you just really see the opportunity in learning so that you could start going out and building your business the right way. Is that right?
Right.
Awesome. Well, we're excited for you. So what we're going to do with you, Jenny, right now is we're just going to schedule a one-on-one, and we're actually going to go over some of those goals that we want to talk about. We're going to tell you about the game plan, how Power Quantum works, and how we're going to help you. So what I want to do is schedule an appointment.
Is it possible to do it tonight?
No, because we have some trainings that we need to do still after.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we can do it now. Now, what time are you available, Jenny?
For right now?
No, like tomorrow. Are you free during the days or are you free during the night?
Well, I actually work a full-time job, and then that's why on the side I kind of have to juggle my time because I live in a city, so I have to travel to another city to work.
Okay, that's okay.
My full-time. So it's like I'll be available.
Yeah, you're real busy. Okay, so what we'll do instead, Jenny, is we're going to hang up here.
Okay.
And we're just going to kind of continue on here, guys. So everyone else, have a good night. Yulani, you have the link here. We send it to your email. You can go ahead and get on here. You know, Jenny saw the same window after that. I have no idea why that popped up, that whole 800 and whatever. So you can just exit out of that, and you know, we only want you to get that live webcast, and then you can come out. Everyone else, we'll just talk to you. We'll meet you on the next training this Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, and we'll meet you all there, guys. Have a good night.